Shalom, shalom. This is Officer Marakat at the Bunyan Yasharala and Masharai Yasharala coming to you with a Torah portion from this past Friday to Saturday Sabbath that just passed. It wasn't done because of Unity Camp. You know, the Most High Word comes first over some of the other Most High. From the Most High's work. So, all right. So this is going to be a quick one. You know, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, and we do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Shemai Yasharala Yahweh, Alahayanawa Yahweh Ched, Hero Israel. Okay. So I'm going to start here at Genesis chapter 37, going into 40. Okay. Like I said, we're going to get this cracking. This is Genesis chapter 37, all right? And this is going in on Joseph, you know, and his brothers, how Joseph is hated by his brothers. You know, you see that envy amongst brothers. And these are all examples of things to do and not to do and how to stop it. Because every time when you got a lot of children, right, and they're all of age, and then you have a baby boy, you know, and you see your dad playing with him in ways he ain't never played with you, it starts stirring up jealousy, you know, things that they just don't understand. And that's what just happened. Hey, if you're coming up in here right now, comment, whatever. Let me know if you can hear it. Post one, you know, or you know, say the volume was good. All right, I'm going to share this real quick, and then we're gonna get started. That I'll go do. So I will advise everybody who's watching this to share, you know. Get it correct, yeah. Everybody. Man. So so me and Zanaka was talking about this earlier. Eve had to be the first dumb bitch to take the vaccination shot. Why my man? It's just like, why my tribe? Like, why throw it? Like, man, our women is just out of order, bro. Man, it's like it had to be us. Like, it couldn't be nobody else. They got to throw us out there. You know, it just had to be it, man. This is irritating, bro. Like, damn, Eve, you couldn't just let another nation do it. It had to be us. We out there now. We out there promoting the vaccine. Man, our people just off they damn rockers. It's, it don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense at all. Y'all see this on your Facebook page? Where oh, I got it. There it goes. It popped up. So yeah, so it's actually a so-called black woman giving a shot to a so-called black woman on TV. The first to take the vaccination shots. Damn. Because they know if they get us to take the shot, everybody else gonna fall in line. And then it leaves us for nothing to say, like, you know what, I ain't doing that. They're gonna be like, well, your people were the first one to do it. You be doing some stupid shit, man. Like, you don't get it. Like, literally, you do not get it.
On that 15-minute thing, just like they do it for Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be hated. She's gonna be hated. She thinks she got something good. She about to get hit. She about to be hated by Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people for that right there. Yes. I ain't taking that shit. I don't care if she did it or not. Yeah, man, it's like this. It's crazy, man. It's real absurd, ridiculously stupid. Um, but these times have to come, though, man. It is what it is, man. Ain't nothing we can really do besides just spread this truth like we do every day, every weekend and week out. We go out there and we handle the business of the Most High week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing we can really do about that, man, besides just preach the Most High and His Son. And I ain't gonna sit here and say all of our sisters are stupid. I'm just gonna say there's a good majority of them that are stupid. Just crazy, man. But yeah, y'all come and get this milk, man. Stop worrying about these damn doctrines, man. Worry about the law you're about to get judged on. That's what y'all should be worried about. This law. You about to get judged. You know, some people ain't got the capacity to sit down and watch watch like a 2-hour video. Some, if it's confrontational, people can sit down and watch that video. If it's something about talking shit about somebody else, they can watch that video. But if it's something that's for their benefit and it's not controversial to everybody, and it's not banging on this camp and that camp, man, they can't watch that, man. That's just too much. That's just not what they're trying to look at. So, anyways, let's get this crack. All right, this is Genesis chapter 37, and I'm gonna start at 1. And it goes like this. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bala, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. So Joseph is snitching right now, y'all. Joseph is snitching. That's what Joseph is doing. Okay? The little brother is always snitching on the big brothers. Who was that little brother that always snitched on the big brother because they never wanted him around? You mama's boy. You daddy boy. You know what I'm saying? You the last one. You know what I'm saying? So your brother's always clowning you, always messing with you, always kicking your ass. You the little brother. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, man. Hey, y'all, be quiet. Leave him alone before he go snitch on us. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. This is verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. So they were envious. They wanted that love too. They they wanted that love. They wanted the same love he was getting. They want they daddy to make them a colorful coat and everything else. They saw what Joseph was getting, envious of that. That's why they hated it, because it's envy. It's bad because envy will make you do the wrong things, man. All right. So this is verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we are binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaf stood round about, and made obedience to my sheaf. And his brethren said unto him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. So Joseph, he was able to, give those prophecies. He was a prophet. The Most High was working with him. He prophesied stuff. All right, here we go. Verse 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me. And a lot of people read that and don't know what it is. See, Christians, Jehovah Witnesses, Baptists, Seven Adventists, all of them don't know what that means because they don't read the law. And they only read one book. They don't know what that is. So, Zanat, give me Revelations 12 and 1, Baba Kushar. Let's see who these let's see what the sun and the moon and the 11 stars. Let's see who that is.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven,
Mm-hmm.
a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
Clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Read.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
A crown of 12 stars. He saw 11. What was the other one? It wasn't Joseph. That's what it wasn't. He saw 11 stars. Joseph's the one standing up. He's the 12th. But he makes Ephraim and Manasseh, but he's one. All right. So the stars were Israel, of course. And the moon was wisdom, and the sun and the moon was wisdom and understanding. So the Most High was giving him wisdom and understanding. But those 11 stars was Israel. It wasn't 12 because Joseph was the one they were showing obedience to. So that's what that was. So let me finish this. Okay. So now you got the sheaves hanging all around him. All around those his brothers. He's telling them that because he's basically the Most High is giving him his prophecy. They're gonna be needing him in these last days. They're gonna be showing him a lot of respect. It wasn't for the point of them bowing down for no reason. They're just going to end up bowing down to Joseph. All right. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this in thy hold on? He said, Salak, I start back at 10. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. So basically, Jacob do what I'm doing. It's like, I ain't finna go crazy. I'm just gonna pay attention to this. There's my son over here giving prophecies about something, and he's dreaming his dreams. You know what I'm saying? But his brother is still, and his brother and them are still envying him. That's not good, man. Evil ish come out of that envy. You know. Verse 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here I am. And he said to him, Go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren, and well with the flock, and bring the word again. So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flock. And the man said, They are departed hence. For I heard them saying, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. No, Dothan. It's not Dothan. Dothan. And when they saw him far off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Now, what is this? What is it? What law are they breaking? Huh?
Murdering, hating one, they're hating their brother, and two, they're conspiring to kill him.
Give me Micah 2:1, man. They're devising iniquity. They're planning to kill their brother. They're planning an iniquity, something that's bad against the law. They're planning, I'm going to do this. Yeah, as soon as you get here, We about to do that. So they're devising iniquity. Read it when you get it.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1.
Mhm.
Woe to them that devise iniquity,
Mm-hmm.
work evil upon their beds. This also goes with, with Jake, you know what I'm saying? In the world, man, they be devising iniquity like, yeah, we gonna slide up, so we gonna slide up on this block and everything. We gonna do this, we gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? They gonna talk about how they gonna jump somebody, you know what I'm saying, devising iniquity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they jump one of their own, that's part of their group. He's making it with the boss, if they want to be boss, and then put him out of the game. We'll be the ones involved. That's just a lot.
And watch this. Read that again, Mr. Nakaria.
Woe to them that devise iniquity.
Woe to them that devise iniquity. Woe means destruction. Read.
And work evil upon their beds.
And they work evil upon their beds. That means they go to bed thinking about this. How I'm going to get him the next day. And their brothers did the same thing.
When the morning is light, they practice it. Because it is in the power of their hand.
Yeah, they have thought about it all night. It's in the power of their hands now. I got it. Gonna get this brother out of here. All right, let's move on. Let me see. Verse 19. And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into some pit. And we will say, Some evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. Damn. That is some devising. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, Let us not kill him. All right? Let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands. Let me say it again. And lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass. So basically, Reuben just wanted to scare the hell out of him. That's what Reuben talking about. Hey, let's just scare him. We don't need to shed his blood. Let's just scare him. You know what I'm saying? That'll make him see his brothers in a different light, basically. All right. And verse 23. And it came to pass when Joseph was coming to his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Galilee with their camels, bearing a spicery and a balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And remember, at this time, Egypt was like America. It was like the big city around there. Everybody went to Egypt. Everybody went to Egypt, no matter where you was. So this place is just like Egypt. So they was carrying these spices over to Egypt to sell it. So that's where it was carrying. Like, you come in here, we finna go take this myrrh and go to the mall and sell outside the mall. You know what I'm saying? These Ishmaelites was doing the same thing. All right, listen. So I lost my place. I gotta stop doing it. Verse 25, and they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Galilee, and their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. So they all agreed now. So if you killed your brother, well, if you sold your brother into slavery, and hopefully they'll kill him, that blood is on your hands. Then there passed by Midianite merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph Slack. I don't see. Slack. And lift up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes, and he returned unto the brethren, and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? See, at 17, he was still called a child. He was at the age to be called a man, but he was still a child. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Verse 30. And he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? And they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats and dripped the coat in the blood. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. And he knew it and said, it is my son's coat, and evil beasts have devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned in his son many days. Well, why do a lot of our brothers and sisters do this? They get in sackcloth. They rent their clothes. They rip their clothes up and get in sackcloth. Well,
Can I answer?
go ahead.
Because it shows like humility to Most High.
Sometimes they throw dirt on themselves, showing a big case of humility to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Like, not trying to come to him all exalted in your nice clothes and shit. Nah, man. Because of him, we got that. But at the same time, it shows a huge case of humility. Rent your clothes, get into the sackcloth and pray. Show some humility when you pray. Verse 34. And Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days. And all the sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, For I will go down into the grave unto my son, mourning. Thus his father wept for him. He said, I die for my son. You know what I'm saying? We'll find this out real quick. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt, into Potiphar, an officer of the pharaohs and captain of the guards. So Judas the second, no, Salakia. So what you have is Joseph giving some prophecies in this one about the 11 stars and the sun and the moon. That's what the Most High was going to give him. He was going to give him his brothers, and he was going to give him wisdom and understanding. So coming out of that Egypt, Joseph was in charge. You know what I'm saying? Now coming out of this Egypt, Judah's in charge. You get it? So it's just a bunch of crazy shit, man. But Joseph is prophesying this one. He's just a young man too, out of his brothers. But every time one of the brothers is hated the Most High end up blessing him the most. Every time. But with that, Ka Ashura, Debar Yahweh, Anai Shai, when I Shemai, although Yahweh said, what we do it here. Now we're about to come over to chapter 38. And this is good one. I found a lot of laws and a lot of precepts to go with you guys. I'm going to try to go to my notes first. Okay, cool. All right, this is chapter 38. So now this is a controversy too. This was controversial. This one right here this is a doctrine that I learned coming into the truth. Is it true? The scripture says it is. Is it against the law? The scripture doesn't say it's not. That's the thing. There's no law against it. So what it is you can't marry a prostitute. Sex is marriage. Yes. Can you commit whoredom with a whore? That's something we're gonna have to go for the next video or something. You know what I'm saying? Can you commit whoredom with a whore? You know what I'm saying? But we about to go over this right now. Okay? This is Genesis chapter 38 and verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adulamite, whose name was Harab. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Sha'ah. And he took her and went in unto her, and she conceived and bare a son. And he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife of his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Right? So now ain't got a wife. He does have a wife. She's a widow now. But now something else is about to kick in. Right? Verse 8. So remember, Tamar is the woman. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Remember, that's her name. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. Now, a lot of people, this where it comes in, people saying, this where a lot of people come in saying masturbation is and this where a lot of people come in saying that masturbation is illegal. Now let's see. I was very careful with this when I broke this down. I read carefully and everything. Let's see if masturbation is legal. Let's see what was wicked about what he done. That's the thing. What was wicked about what he done? Now, verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother, wicked. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. Now, Judah got one son. All right? Zanak, give me Deuteronomy 25 and 5. Let's read this real quick. Let's find out what's wicked.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without.
This is a law. This is a law. Okay, go ahead.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to a wife.
That's what's supposed to happen. The brother supposed to go into his wife because he ain't got a kid, but that kid that's going to come out is going to be him. Go ahead.
And take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother to her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed him in the name of his brother, which is dead.
Which one you want? What verse?
Verse 6.
Okay.
That the name be not put out of Israel.
So, and it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother, which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. So, Salaki, it's not him. It's just the name is going to succeed in his brother. It's going to be his brother's seed. That's his brother. That's just how the Most High do it. You know what I'm saying? Succeed in his name. You know what I'm saying? It's going to look like him and everything. Lord willing. Keep going to 10.
Come. Verse 7. If a man be found stealing any of his
This is
brother,
Deuteronomy 25 and
no,
7.
verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate of the elders and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loose his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. Nigga with no shoe.
Brother, you ain't got no shoe on, huh? She spit in your face? Okay. All right. Hey, that is what it is. So that was the wicked thing that happened. He didn't build his brother's house. That was wicked. The Most High thought that was very wicked, so he killed him. It's not because he spilt it on the ground. I mean, he didn't even masturbate. He was fucking a woman. They was having sex. It ain't like he was, yeah, but no time was he ever beating his meat. No time the Bible said because he beat his meat, he was wicked. This is not saying that at all. It's not saying that. All right, verse 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house till Shelah, my son, be grown. For he said, least peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, the daughter of Shah, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was confronted and went up into a sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Harah the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garment off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath, where she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. So she took off her widow and everything else, and she thought she was going to be seen, and they're going to see her. They're like, that's your wife. Boom. That's what she's waiting for. You know what I'm saying? She's waiting for it to happen because she's following the law. You know what I'm saying? These women wanted to have kids. These women wanted to be married back then. These women wanted to put themselves in subjection to a man back then. Huh? Yeah, these women she waited for the youngest, for him to put it in her and put it on her and put her in subjection. She was waiting for that, bro. This is crazy, man.
Goddamn, man, they were an order.
Yeah.
The order was to be a help me, have babies,
guide the house. How the man wanted her to guide the house. Not how the man before had her to guide the house. Now she want to guide the house the way the other man told her to guide the house. You got me fucked up. You ain't ever coming. A woman ain't gonna ever come to my house doing some shit that she done in the past. You finna do it the way I want you to do it. That's it. So however you did it back then, erase it. Maybe some stuff you did back then I may like. But now you can't treat a man how you treated another man back then is totally different. You're an empty vessel now. That's basically what that is. She's an empty vessel. Don't ever allow a woman to come up under your roof and treat you like she treated the other man, or cook for you like she cooked for the other man, or do things for you like she did another man. No, I don't like things done like that for me. Okay, let's stop. You got to give her that understanding. It's like you can't come into this wanting to do what you did in past relationships. I don't want to hear anything about your past husband. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't even want you to cross mention them if we cross on the freeway. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. I don't want to hear none of that. You know, because I don't. You're not really supposed to hear that anyways, man. If you're dealing with a virgin, these women ain't virgins no more, man. You know, and you got some that are virgins that are lesbians though. These last days, we're gonna get some virgins. Hey man. Anyways, let me get back on track. All right. Okay, verse 15. I'm back on verse 14. For she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Will thou give me a pledge till thou send it? You know what a pledge is, right? It's like you go into a pawn shop, right? And you need some money and you let them hold something until you come back. But she was going to give him some nani, and she was going to hold something until he sent that goat, and he's going to get his other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's a pledge. It's like pawning or something. So, and he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelet and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away and laid by her veil from her and put on the garment of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend, the Adullamite, to receive his pledge from the woman's hand. Why? He didn't want nobody to see him bring her that. So he had somebody else. But he found her not. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. Ooh-wee. That's and he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. He's like, hey, let her keep it. At least we keep looking for it. We be shamed. Mess with that harlot. So he was like, man, I just wanted something. Man. You know what I'm saying? My wife just died. You know what I'm saying? I needed me some money. You know what I'm saying? That fool had many wives. What are you worried about that one for? Anyways, that's just us. Verse 24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tomorrow thy daughter-in-law hath played the harlot. And also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth and let her be burnt. You gonna burn a woman for the son? Yeah, she's supposed to be burnt, but let's see what's going on. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the men who these are, am I with child? And she said, Discern, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and the bracelet and staff. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah, my son, and he knew her again no more. So Judah didn't mess with her no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed that one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How was that? No, she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. That has to be some type of. I'm gonna figure that one out because that's almost like a Jacob and Esau thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But one stuck his hand out, put it back in, and the other one came out. That was crazy. Okay, so collateral is a pledge. All right, just like a pawn shop. You pawn something to get to hold on to something, and you bring your money back, but they charge you a little extra. All right. Now, if a man dies, the woman has to stay a widow until her brother get her pregnant. Until his brother gets her pregnant. That is the law right there. If you don't have no brothers, then nah. But let's be more specific. What brother? Say there's two Judites and one Issachar. If Issachar passed away, can a Judite go in unto her now?
Mm-hmm.
If there's two Judites and an Issacharite living in the house, the Issacharite passed away. Have he didn't have a baby with his wife. So now one of his brothers has to go in unto her. Do the Judites go in unto her, or it's another Issacharite?
Well, it's who's in the house with you guys, just like two people on this part.
No, it's not. It's an Issacharite.
So there's only like two Judas and one Issachar in the house.
Exactly.
This household, right?
Well, I'm a Judite. I can do that with me, a Judite, even though you're my brother. Huh? Of the shoe loose, having a shoe loose. Because yeah, we're all brothers, but then at the same time, I can only go off the example I was shown with Judah and his sons. They're Judites. So and we just gonna do the law part right here, and then we'll do the rest tomorrow and stuff like that. But what else gonna say? Okay. Call Asherah, the Bar Yahweh, Anai Shai, when Ashemai. All that Yahweh said, what we doing here. So this is Genesis chapter 39, verse 1. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard of the Egyptian, brought him of the hand of the Ishmaelite, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. Now, this is the part right here where when you go into Maccabees, and they're talking about our fathers that did it before us, and like Daniel was innocent. He was innocent. He made it. Most High chose him because of his innocence. He was innocent. He didn't do nothing wrong, but he was being persecuted. You know what I'm saying? All three of them was thrown into a fire, and they believed that the Most High got them. That's the thing. Most High is choosing those people that really very persuaded. They already know. You know what I'm saying? Throw me in the fire. You know, like you take us all three up the fire. Which one was? And start crying and shit. That's no faith. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what the Most High, what fire He puts us in, and He gives us the examples, and we're gonna go over that. All right. Verse 2. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hands. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him an overseer over his house, and all that he had put his hand to, and all that he had he put into his hand. So all that the Egyptian dude, the captain had, he put in Joseph's hands. This is all I have. Here, you take care of it. Basically, Joseph was the motherfucker. captain. Joseph was everything. It was in Joseph's hand. All right. Verse 5. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph, all that he had in Joseph's hands. And he knew not aught he had. Remember this. And he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. So Joseph didn't know what he had, but bread. He wasn't too much worried about everything. It was just being Joseph. Joseph wasn't worried about gold, silver, chains, none of that stuff. He was just doing what he was told. He was still that young man, daddy's little boy. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing what he was told to do. All right. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he had to my hand. There was none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So when he said, let's break this down real quick, because there's some big words a lot of people really think they know and they don't know. What was that at? Where was that at? So remember, this is Egyptian. This woman that is coming on to Joseph is an Egyptian woman. Okay? Remember that at all. Remember at the least. Now, what we can take from this is you can also see that the heathen woman carried the adulterous spirit on them. And now our women are taken after the Egyptian democracy. So what precept can I go with that with? Is, so now give me Deuteronomy 19 and 16. Where's that precept? Give me Leviticus 18 and 1 and Karakai. And this is Genesis chapter 39 and verse 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, lie with me. This is that spirit. You know, a lot of people, they just got this filthy ass wicked spirit. And hey, I can admit, I watched a lot of porn as a kid. And they always had skits like this, where the husband left and the pool worker or somebody left behind and the wife was sleeping with. That is that spirit from Egypt. Read that real quick.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt.
After the what?
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall ye not do.
Now, Egypt, I say, was just like a big city like America. Not bigger than America, but it was just a big city. It was the main attraction, the main thing at that time. So the things right here, the Most High do not want us to do after the doings of Egypt. She was after Joseph, being a woman that was married. Now, keep that precept. Watch this. But he refused, and he said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house. Wotteth not? Wotteth. What is that word? All right. I broke that down. Where you at? Wotteth. Now. Okay. Wotteth not means acquitted. Wotteth, to know, learn to, from a criminal change. All right. No, slack. Wotteth. Wotteth means to know, learn to know, be a, be acquainted with, to know a person carnally, to be instructed. So this person was carnally. So and he said in verse 8, but he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house. So when he said wotteth, his master is going to know what happened. How's his master going to know what happened? Because Joseph has that spirit on him that you can always tell when Joseph done something wrong. Right there. So let's just catch on to what Joseph is telling this person by these words we don't understand by looking them up and applying them. So verse 8, but he refused and said unto his master wife, behold, and it's in the Strong's H 3045 in the Blue Letter Bible. You can look that word up. My master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There was none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness, a sin against God? And it came to pass as he spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went in to the house to do his business, and there was none of them of the house of there within. So there was no guards around. And she caught him by the garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. He was gone, boy. She grabbed him by the garment. Joseph was. Remember that day I was telling you about how old girl was trying to like give you a hug and he was like,
Yeah.
That's that good spirit that you got to do to him. Joseph was like, He was just, he was
like,
getting around her.
like this, and she tried to give a hug. Like, I didn't ask for a hug.
Yeah, man. Want your hug, woman?
Oh yeah, that girl in downtown was trying to go, hey, what you doing?
Yeah. That's how Joseph was. Joseph, like, come on, man, I don't want you. You're my master's wife. Why would I want to sleep with somebody else's wife? Watch this. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by the garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when he saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. They always did that to us, even in Egypt. And you watch a bunch of slave movies, they doing that to us. A nigger raped me. A nigger raped. They got from Egypt. They're crying a wolf. But let's find out about that, though. Let's find out about that. Isn't that read that?
Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him,
Give me Deuteronomy 22 and 22.
That both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges.
Start over again, Salat.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges.
Now it's a controversy. Stop right there. Oh my God, we keep going. Read that real quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman.
So that was a mutual agreement right there. The man and the woman, they had sex. She had a husband. They both died. Keep reading.
I'll read it from the beginning. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
Keep going.
Verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed.
Start at 25.
Okay. Verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed,
A betrothed,
the damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die.
keep going.
Verse 26. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter.
Because she cried. Basically, she said something about it. This man forced me. He lied to me. That's what she's doing. She's saying he raped her. But this is what's supposed to happen if it's found out not to be true. Read that, not. Start from 16.
Verse 16. If a false witness rises up against any man.
Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
If a false witness rises up against any man to testify against him, that which is wrong, then both of the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges.
Mm-hmm. Which is that woman right there. Which is this woman. It's a controversy because she's saying this man did something that he didn't do. Read.
And the judges make a diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness and hath testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you.
I love that law. Then, what was supposed to be done unto us, going to be done unto you, what you thought to be done unto us. That's what's supposed to happen to her. Because she's a false witness.
But she's not under the law, so
no.
If she was, she would, right?
Most High get her. So that was it on that. Let me move on. All right. Verse 15. And it came Genesis chapter 39, verse 15. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled, and I got him out. She's basically saying he did something, and when she cried, she grabbed his garment. And that's how her garment is still here. She's just lying. And she laid up his garment by her until the Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lift up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, after this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prisons. But the Lord was with Joseph and shewed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. All right, now watch this. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the door of it. See, the Most High was still with them. Now, Joseph was in prison. Why was Joseph chosen? Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 53. Does it not give me 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 55? So let's hear about some stories. What I was telling earlier about we're supposed to always look to our fathers and what happened. You know what I'm saying? What happened here? What happened there? You know, a lot of people be scared about things, and you know, like these last days, and you know, was this happen and that happened? You know, the Most High is just telling you have faith, he'll be there. Do you believe or you don't believe? You know what I'm saying? It's entirely up to you. You know. Con.
First Maccabees, what?
Chapter 2 and verse 53.
Verse 52.
Let's hear about one of our brothers, Joseph. Read.
All right. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 53.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
What commandment did he keep?
To not sleep with another man's wife.
He was innocent. When he was in distress, he still kept the Most High's commandment. He still prophesied in prison. The man was prosperous out of prison and in prison. He was prosperous no matter where he went.
Kept the faith.
He was innocent too. I'm innocent. You throw me in prison, I'm innocent. You should have no reason to be scared. That's the thing. And we're told this now. Back then, we'd be tripping. Like, I'm about to go and smashing on fools, man. First month, say something to me getting handled. Joseph didn't do that at all. All right. So now go ahead and read 55.
Okay.
And give me 59.
This is First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 55.
Let's hear about another brother. Go ahead.
Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation.
So let's stop right there. Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made Lord of Israel. He was made judge of Israel, to judge Israel.
Judge in Israel.
Because he kept the word. He did the word. He was the word, and he fulfilled the word. And he was made judge of Israel, to judge Israel. And that's who's going to be judging us in the last day, is Yahweh Shai right there. Judging the hell out. Go ahead, Zanah.
Caleb, for bearing witness.
My bad. Go ahead. Nakarakai.
First Maccabees.
Give me Deuteronomy 30:27. Go ahead.
First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 59. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flames.
These were Daniel's and other three Judites named under the Babylonian captivity. They were just different names, but Daniel was his name. Go ahead.
No, all right.
They was thrown in the fire.
Want me to go to 61? Verse 60?
Now go back to 59. Read that.
Okay. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame.
By believing. So they believed in the Most High. And that was in the book of Daniel, those three. They was thrown into the flame, and they was walking around in there. And it was like, is somebody walking around in there? It was like, yeah, 4 men are walking around in there. Because there's an angel down there with them. And he was just walking around in the fire and stuff because they believed. Right? I want that belief. But we do have it. We have that capability right now. And believe, like when we go out there, we go to these highways, it's dangerous out there, man. And that faith we have, especially when we're around one another. But can you have that faith if everybody left and you were by yourself? And you're right there with the mic in your hand. You're right there with your own Bible in your hand, nobody reading for you. We have that same faith. We have that same courage to do what you need to do while you was there. Nobody's around you. That's what you gotta have. You don't need nobody to be there with you. It's good to have camaraderie and brotherhood, but if you gotta be by yourself and speak that truth, just by yourself. Shit, you finna get on your Facebook, go live, boom. I'm over here, boom. You wanna come down, chop it up, about to put this truth down. Hey, so come here, man. I don't like you, but come here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. Go ahead, read that, Zanah. See, and this is a good
32
part.
32:7, right? Deuteronomy chapter 32, Verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Right.
Consider the years of many generations.
Right.
Ask thy father, and he will shew thee thy elders, and they will tell thee.
And that's what we're supposed to look back to, our fathers, our forefathers, and see what they did. And see what the Most High got to tell us what they did. And we go through precept upon precept what our forefathers did. And we do it the same way. We know what happened to Daniel, Meshach, you know what I'm saying, those three in the Babylonian captivity. They was thrown in the fire. They believed they wasn't going to get burnt or anything else. You had Joseph. He was inside the dungeon, you know what I'm saying? And he prospered because he still kept the commandment in jail. In jail, he still kept the commandment. So he didn't forget. He wasn't lacking. He still remembered because he was a young child. You know what I'm saying? Jacob was always with him like, hey, man, do this now, don't do that. Slapping his hand, don't do that. Do this and do that. Stop. All right. So go back to Genesis chapter 39 and verse 23. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him. And that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. Call Asherah, Gabar Yahweh, Anai Shai, Wenah Shemai. Although Yahweh said, what we doing here? So now we're about to go read the whole chapter of 40. And this is a good chapter, might I add, because it goes into the things that were done in Egypt. All right. This is Genesis chapter 40, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. And he put them in a ward in the house of the captain of the guard, and to the prisons, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them. And they continued a season in ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. The butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there was no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said unto him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou wast his butler. But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and shew kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing, that they should be put into the dungeon. So remember I was telling you about how was reading about Ptolemy. He was one of the 4 generals, and he was over Egypt. So a lot of those babies over there are Ptolemy's babies, the Edomite babies and shit, because the real Egyptians were exiled out of there, leaving up out of there. So, but you can see that the real ones that were exiled out of there, you can imagine what Joseph looked like. You kill him with history, bro. Like, so if this is this and this right here, how the hell is it you? I don't get it, man. Can we concur that there's no more Israelites? Because we know damn well it's not you. So here we go again. Genesis chapter 40 and verse 16. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream. Oh, I also was in my dream. And behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and in the upmost basket there was of all manner baked meats of Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation, Pharaoh. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off of thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave him a cup unto Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, and Joseph had interpreted to them. So now we see a lot of something else that was done in Egypt. Birthdays. Pharaoh was celebrating his birthday. Whatever was done in the land of Egypt shall you not do. Birthdays. On top of the stuff that he's just an unrighteous ruler. You know what I'm saying? For somebody messing up on some food, you about to kill him? Like, come on, you serious? About to kill a man for some food that he messed up on a cake? It don't taste how it did last week or something? That's stupid, man. He's an unrighteous ruler. Just how these presidents do. They throw people in jail for nothing. All right, I'm going to start back at 22. But he hanged the chief baker, and Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgave him. He forgets. So he was like, man, I'm good. So 3 days, man, I'm crushing these grapes in your cup. Just a house nigga for real. Like, then he crushed these grapes in your cup, massive squeeze. That's what he wanted to do. So the Egyptians celebrated their birthdays. Chapter 40, verse 19 to 20. Here you can see that birthday party. So these are just my notes I'm repeating off. So yeah, man, they did that in Egypt too, celebrated birthdays. The women had their horse spirits still over there. You know, I would prefer an Egyptian woman coming at me than a motherfucking white woman.
That's how strip clubs got brought up in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
That pole is a god.
Yep. So, call Sharaf, the Bar Yahweh, and I Shai when I Shemai. Although Yahweh said what we're doing here. And this is the end of the law of the Torah portion. We will continue the prophets and the gospel tomorrow, Lord will. You know, we got some more breakdowns coming to you. Might do the Darius breakdown, you know, the Persians and the Medes, you know, the conquering of the Persians and the Medes going into the Greek Empire and everything else. So that'll be an important one, showing the horn bigger than the other horn, a little horn in the middle of the head, and all that right there. That'll be a good breakdown for the last day of the Feast of Dedications. So, hey man, the water for y'all for hanging in there with me and going through the law, which y'all going to be judged upon, and giving y'all some precepts that go with this and what they done about this and that, and you know, just stay with it. So remember, if any of us are in distress, look to our fathers, man. Okay? All right? And what else? Remember, in Leviticus 18:1-5, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. Let me get a precept for that too. Let me get Hosea 13:4 real quick. Bible Kushah, somebody. Read all the way to 10 too. Let's see. Let me make sure I want that. Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos.
Say over 13 and 4.
Yeah, give me a second real quick. Trying to see if I want this. Now don't worry about that precept. So that'll be the end of that. And Tawada for hanging in there, man. Yahaba call Allah Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai Barakatam. Shalom.